Hello. No standing around in the cold for me today, because I am off in transit phase for another car collection, because quite clearly there aren't enough cars here. And just like that, back in the yard. Normally, of course, I go on a car collection. I drive along, spouting all sorts of stupid and strange things I just happen to think of as I go along. Do you think people with a foot fetish are ever put off by a fungal nail infection? But I forgot that thing to stick on my windscreen, which means I've got somewhere to hold my device. Plus, Mrs. Mustard accompanied me on this particular mission, and that meant we had a conversation instead. It wasn't a particularly important or interesting conversation, but a conversation all the same. And a conversation with your passenger surely must take priority over talking to yourself. Anyway, it's probably time that I showed you the car. And just like with Project Kev, if you've been a follower of this channel for a while, you'll recognise this car anyway. This car is called Project Kurt. I owned it nearly a year back, and I sold it nearly a year back. It is a Rover 25 IXL, 1.6 litre, quite nippy, and inside we have some leather seats. Currently, this car does need a good clean up and a couple of niggly faults sorting out, and an MOT. Before we take this car off, let's have a little chat about my history with this car. Just over a year back, I got chatting to a man called Dan, and he was very interested in buying a car for me known as Project Dennis, which was a 5-door 214 8-valve. After a few conversations, he turned up at the yard with his wife Claire and this particular car, which was named Goldie, after Goldie Hawn. And we agreed on a deal where I took this car on and they took away Project Dennis. I took this car, I did a couple of minor jobs on it, give it a right good clean up, put it up for sale. Didn't sell. Too many, you know, those kind of people that have seen no value in it whatsoever, and I knew it was just going to end up wrecked. So after a couple of months or so, might have even been 1 month, they missed this car, or certainly Claire did anyway, and they came back to the Project Nigel yard and reclaimed this car. Dennis, unfortunately, had to be sold to make room for this car back, and not sold to me, sold to somebody else. That turned out to be a bit of a mistake, unfortunately. But now the time has come where they've decided to entirely give up on Project Kurt, and it's come to me. They've got too many other cars. This one's got too many niggling faults and no MOT. So it's down to me to start the resurrection. Resurrection time, resurrection time, resurrection time of Project Kurt. As you may know, I've got plenty of other cars to be working on in the yard at the moment. But this one seems to be one of those I feel I could probably easily turn into a decent car again. I'm just going to have to make some room down here for Project Derek, I think. Project Kurt. A quick spin around the yard reveals that the drive is fine and the horn works. No trouble really, I can imagine, with the MOT. What it really needs is a jolly good clean up, those wheels cleaning and those two front windows sorting out. When I cleaned this car out about a year back, I took the mats out and I forgot to put them back in, and they have been in my truck behind the seats ever since, and here they are. with the original embroidered Rover on the on there. I think they're quite nice. They certainly will be with a good clean up. Just been sorting out a package, and now stay there for the moment. Back in Alfie for the moment, because two things have been bugging me with this car. I'm going to see if I can just sort them out now. I mean, it's going dark, but there's a good chance I could do it. Now, the first thing is this. Nothing, nothing, noise, even more noise. That's quite a common problem on these, and I'm going to fix it right now. Heater resistor, change it. Very easy to get out, and here is the old resistor, and you can see it's broken, so I'm going to fit another one. Fitted. Just going to try it before putting the glove box back together. That's much better. The volume between that and that is quite great. I've had these resistors go on many of these cars. The difference in the volume between speeds 2 and 3 is rather low. Well, it's distracting. You can't just have it on 3 all the time, it annoys you. You want it on 3 to properly demist. You have it on 2 or even 1 the rest of the time. So it's now the other thing that's bugging me about this car, I'm going to get round to straight after I have a phone call with the man Mansley. That was a relatively short conversation with the man Mansley. The man Mansley, not the mad man. And now I'm going to wash my car in the dark. You see, that was the other thing that was really bugging me about it. It was getting dirty. I can honestly say washing the car in the dark is not the easiest. Well, it's not as easy as doing it in the daylight, put it that way. Actually, there is something a little bit satisfying about washing your car in the dark, or certainly for me, and that is that it's too dark to do anything else.